Strikeman came to me like one day when I was 4 years old. It was kind of stupid. What do you do when you're 4 years old and you think this? You make your own superhero, okay? Here's a picture I drew when I was 4. If you've seen the movie, there's the ski helmet, and he's got all that stuff. It was a go-kart helmet, and I had a cape.
So, 6th grade, Sam comes up to me and starts telling me ideas about a character named Strikeman, right? Tells me about what you just heard, about how he had worn a costume and how he has all these stories bottled up in his head. And he started explaining to me, and I started loving it. It was great. I loved all the stories. We decided we wanted to make comics because we were like, what can we sell? We can sell comics because we wanted to make money because we were like, oh, we can make a business in 6th grade? Whoa, we're independent, right? And also, there's another guy around the school that was selling magazines, and we were like, oh, we can do that with comics, right? So his magazine company ended up stopping, and it was a good influence for Strikeman. So we got a bunch of people together, and we had ideas for a comic company, and it was really fun, except for the fact that it kind of failed miserably. We sold one issue of the original Strikeman, which wasn't even produced, for $5. I made the deal, and for a year this guy didn't get his comic company, and we paid him back in 8th grade. So yeah, that was something. We had a bunch of people that were really high up in the company, and they just left. They were like, oh, this is dumb, okay, bye. And at the time, we were like, what do you mean? You're making the biggest of a mistake of your life. This is going to be monumentous. We're going to be millionaires, right? So 6th grade, we started that. 7th grade, we kind of brought it back, and it, again, didn't do well. But Sam and I were talking about, like, ideas and stories. Came up with, like, whole expanded universe, right? And it worked in our heads, but in reality, we didn't have the budget or the time to make everything. And one reason that kept pushing us to work is actually the main villain of Strikeman, Arian Dougal. He had a company called he said he sold stuff. A company called Dual Inc. And he had websites and stuff, and he just sell things. And we're like, oh, we can use that. We can sell our company to him to sell to other people, and we can get money, right? And it ended up not working, and Arian and us, we had like a feud, but obviously it all worked out in the end. Arian is one of our closest friends. The company was there. It happened. We fought. It was kind of dumb, but it was fun. It branched into the movie. So yeah, I guess it worked out in that sense.
It's probably a good thing that Strikeman went back into obscurity when he did at the beginning of high school, because everything's different. It's bigger. It's high school, and you don't need this little thing from middle school. For me, it was a big thing, but you don't need it following you around. It's not weird, but it was just kind of a waste of time, I would almost say. So, sorry everyone who helped me out, but it was a waste of time. And so I started high school off rather. It was pretty fun. I joined cross country. Thank you, Froshmemes. This is fun. And what happened next was there was a contest. It was called Reflections, and it was run by the school. And anyways, long story short, I'm competitive, and my sister entered the middle school part of it. And I was like, okay, I can write a story. So I went, okay, what do I know? I know Strikeman. All right, let's start writing. So this was the first time I actually tried to write a Strikeman story instead of drawing it, and it worked out pretty good because the contest was only a 2,000 word limit, which is probably like 2.5 pages. I wrote 32 pages, so it was long and it was good, but I couldn't use it. So what I did was I used the first 2 pages, and I submitted it, and I actually won. That was surprising. But it wasn't called Strikeman, it was just called like the dog, because if you see the beginning of the movie, you know why it's called the dog. So I submitted this excerpt, and it won, and I was very happy about that. And so Strikeman was back for me.
So you've all heard about the origins of Strikeman. By now, you probably want to know about Strikeman movie itself. So, the Strikeman movie all came from one simple day in indoor track. Me, Sam, and Philip, who played the first version of Mirror in Strikeman, out of the 3 that we had. And, what was I going to say? We decided, we should make a movie. A movie, you say? Yes, indeed, I replied. And so we were like, alright, what should we make a movie about? And we were like, something. I was like, that's a great idea. We should totally make it about something. Because we can't make it about nothing, because that's not a movie. And then so we were like, alright, what's a good original story? Strikeman was. So we decided, let's make a movie on Strikeman. Fast forward to the beginning of February, probably like either in the 9th or 11th. We made a Google Classroom for it, so I think that's the true beginning of the movie. And so then, well, nothing really happened for 2 months. And then April, the most productive 30 minutes of the entire Strikeman career, people were like, okay, yeah, I got an idea. We can film like this, here, there, that, then, when, why, how, on the group me. What's a group me? It was a group me. And then that's it. Nothing happened for another month. Then we decided we need to film some scenes because people are going away for the summer and we need the school. So that's what we did. We filmed the first school scenes. The movie filming took effort, I want to say, but not that much. It really just took time. And the more we did it, I think the better we got, except really not. Our first scene that we filmed, which was when Brian Duwall killed Dwight Duwall, that's still one of my favorite scenes we filmed because, I don't know, we just did it really well.
So I want to say thank you to everyone who made the movie and everyone who, like through middle school, Andrew, thank you, Arian, thank you. Everyone, thank you, because you know how weird it is to like have thought of a thing when you were an annoying little kid and now you're an annoying high schooler. Anyways, it's just weird to have this concept. You made a movie about it. You know how weird that is? It's so cool. So just thank you. It's fun to say that. Thank you.